So in today's video, I want to walk you guys through how to set up a proper Facebook campaign. But before we segue into the technical side of things, the formula I choose to approach, let's say your brand sub 10K a month in ad spend, right? You want to keep your budget very tight. You want to make sure you're allocating to majority of winners. And ultimately, like if you're at 3K a month, you're trying to validate product, offer, landing pages, creatives. So this is keeping in mind how can you be as efficient with your budget as possible without throwing money down the drain so that you can turn that 3K a month in ad spend to now 10K a month in ad spend. We've scaled numerous accounts. One of our recent accounts, we did 40K last month in total ad spend. So this formula is going to give you the North Star so that you don't really focus on ad strategy, but you get enough time to focus on what's actually going to move the needle for your business, which is A/B testing offers, validating market fit with these offers, testing various creatives, landing pages, and so on and so forth, post-click, whatever, right? Because ultimately, if we want to look at the landscape of running a successful funnel, your creatives have to be efficient enough where you're getting a decent CPM, decent click-through rate, frequency. At least you want to acquire top of funnel brand new customers, so you want a frequency around 1.10 to 1.05, and then you want CPMs at sub $10 in ideal world, anywhere from 10 to 15. And then we want to use paid ads. We want to use Meta as our top of funnel growth channel so that we can acquire brand new customers. And based off your CAC to LTV ratio, the theory behind this is when you acquire customers with a bundle, you're giving them enough product to then want to buy back from your business, whether it's your hero SKU or other accessories you tie to that bundle. You have a pathway to downsell them on the back end to boost your overall LTV. Now, granted, this is not going to guarantee success. I want to make that pretty clear here. Brand to brand, what separates winners from losers is ultimately market fit, right? You can try different strategies, you can try different offers, whatever, but nothing's going to lead to success more than actually having a product that is demanded by the market. Now, what is our North Star? Well, ultimately, it's first of all profit, and then ultimately, what is the LTV ratio? What's the second order frequency behind that? So with this process, this is going to eliminate a lot of the behaviors. This is going to eliminate a lot of the questions you may have, because this approach is pretty simple. I mean, you can set this type of campaign up in less than 10 minutes. So I'm going to show you the actual graph, the breakdown, the methodology behind this, so that you can incorporate this into your business where you're at 3K a month in ad spend and you want to bump up to 10K a month in ad spend, 15, 20K a month in ad spend, because the principles are pretty much the same. Now, just to preference here, you want to have an evergreen offer that can run any time of the year, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Now, with this evergreen offer, if you have one single SKU and your gross margin is around that 70-75% mark, then that's great. You can just push one single SKU. But if you don't have a SKU at that gross margin, what you want to do is take your hero SKUs, maybe you have one or two to even three hero SKUs, look to put that into a bundle, get your AOV up, whether that's $50, $75, $100 to $150, to where your gross margin is around that 70 to 75% mark. And then from there, you push it on the front end, and that's your campaign that's going to really host top of funnel new customers. You're getting people into the ecosystem with this bundle that can run year round. And then later on, I'll cover like how we go about, okay, once we have an evergreen offer, that's our foundation, then we might split test interest-based lookalikes or whatever to go up the vertical and see if we can maximize efficiency on the Facebook platform. But with that being said, I'm a huge proponent on you want to simplify as much areas of the business as possible. At higher ad spends, what I've noticed with our portfolio of brands under management is simplicity scales. The brands that are doing 50 to 100K a month in ad spend, we're running a very lean operation. It's very simple. It's easy for me and my team to go into the ad account and see, okay, what's scaling, what's not scaling, what do we need to work on? But to get to that point, you want to lay the foundation. So this is how you're going to lay the foundations. Before I dive into the strategy, make sure you click the like button, you subscribe, and let's jump into it. So I've covered this before time and time again, and I'm not saying I'm the founder of this strategy, right? You can go on YouTube or Twitter. His name's Professor Charlie. He's the outlier to this. He created this strategy. Now, I've invested numerous amounts of money into mentors, joined multiple programs, and by far I've tested a ton of strategies, right? I've managed a portfolio. We do around 100K a month in ad spend, bare minimum. And this strategy right here has been the most coherent to where, let's say you're a brand at 20, 30K a month in revenue, you want to skyrocket that to the next level, and you're at 3K a month in ad spend, you're around $100 a day in ad spend. This is going to be the easiest solution for you at this point in time. And then as you progress, you can add more layers to this. Now, let's dive in. It's pretty simple. It's one campaign here, and ideally we have either a SKU at 70 to 75% gross margin, or we have a bundle at 70 to 75% gross margin. Now, for every campaign we have, the budget is set at the campaign level, which is CBO. So we're giving Meta the tools to allocate spend to what they deem as best for the end user. Now, with the structure, if you're targeting different countries, then you want to organize that into separate campaigns. If you're testing different products, you want to organize that in separate campaigns, vice versa, right? We want to make sure everything here is just under one demographic, one ideal customer profile, so on and so forth. That's the foundation. Now, this is where things get a bit interesting. So Meta offers a feature called dynamic creative tests at the ad set level. What this does is, let's say you have an OG creative concept. This OG creative concept is a static image. You have your basic headline, your call to action, and then you have two variations of this ad concept, which equates to 3 total testable ads. Now, what a DCT does is pretty much this is going to create more than one combination. So we provide previous ad copy with new ad copy. We provide a previous working headline with a new headline. So now in a DCT environment, Meta is going to create up to 9 combinations with ad creative 1, separate copy, ad creative 1, different copy, ad creative 1, copy with headline, ad creative 1, new headline, right? We're using Meta's machine learning platform to do this to be efficient with our budget. Vice versa with ad creative 2, ad creative 3. So the ad creatives follow the same concept, same structure, might slight variation in headline or copy, but in a DCT environment, we're getting more bang for our buck. We have up to 9 combinations, and in a CBO environment, Meta is allocating spend to what they deem is best for the end user. And then in theory, we're trying to find a DCT that has this winning combination that's at least profitable. We copy that post ID, we host that into our main winners ad set. So on a long enough time horizon, in our main winners ad set is previous DCTs we've tested with post IDs here that are proven winners because they've gone through this rigorous phase of creative testing. Now, as you produce more winning post IDs, your main winners ad set's going to get around, I would say, 60% to 80% of the budget. And then as you have like 5 ads here, now what do we deem winner in a DCT environment is, can this pull in 20, 30% of budget, and is that profitable? If it is, then we can keep filling this funnel. But in our main winners ad set, the maximum amount of post IDs is up to 8 that I would want to host here. And then in a DCT in this campaign setup, we only want to be testing at a maximum 2 DCTs at a time. So with that being said, super easy structure. When you set this up, you're only spending around maybe a maximum of 1 hour a week inside the ad account. And I say this to say because nothing's going to move the needle more for your business than better creatives, better landing pages, better offers. And we can attribute soft metrics to see, okay, where are we at? What part of the funnel is a drop off? Because let's say you have an outbound click-through rate of sub 1%. And then you're getting at least a decent amount as a cart, you're getting a decent amount of initiate checkouts, and then you're somewhat at 1-to-1 break even. That tells me, from my perspective, that there's a creative issue. We need to improve overall better creatives. We need to make better creatives. Now, if we have a creative outbound click-through rate of 1%, our CPCs are decent, like sub around $1, or CPMs around $10, $15. This is going fully broad as well. I want to preference that. But we still see a drop off post click. That tells me, okay, there's either offer issue or there's a landing page issue. And then we follow the scientific method here, right? We keep one variable the same, and then while we're changing, or we keep external variables the same, and then we're changing one variable at a time. So for example, if we're testing creatives, the offer and the landing page stays the same. If we're testing landing pages, the creative, the offer stays the same, but pretty much we're trying to A/B test the landing page. If let's say the offer, we're trying to test the offer, creative, landing page stay the same, but we're split testing different destinations to include separate offers, right? Now, on a long enough time horizon, you're going to have, after proven amounts of spend and data, you're going to have an idea of what relationship works with what. Like creative 1 or a creative archetype, this works really well with this specific landing page with this specific offer, and then that's going to be hosted here in the main winners ad set. So this is by far, if you're a brand, 30K a month of revenue, 50K a month of revenue, and you're strapped for cash, this is the easiest system to implement that's going to yield a positive ROI within 90 days. Now, of course, granted, you need market fit. If you have market fit, this is going to allow you to scale pretty fast. Like with the strategy, we've taken numerous brands from $100 a day to $500 a day to like $1,000 a day. And it's pretty simple because in a CBO environment, all of your budget goes to the main winners ad set, which is basically out of 80% of your budget, it's all going to winners. And then we have 20 to 30% of budget going to just testing overall. Whereas I've tried the other strategy where, let's say you do a bunch of interest-based targeting, or you do like ABO methodology where you set the budget at the ad set level. In theory, let's say you run 3 to 5 ad sets, different interests, and then you're testing different creatives. Well, then you have a lot of moving parts happening, and then you're forcing spin on losers on a long enough time horizon. Like majority of your budget goes to losers because you're testing. Whether with the CBO environment, budgets at the campaign level, we're actually working with Meta's algorithm, and they're allocating spin to, like I said this before, what they deem is best for the end user. So this approach is by far the most efficient. I've tested this under numerous amounts of portfolios of brands under management. And then once we have that evergreen offer that's a winner here, then we look to go into, okay, let's possibly split test either different offers, different product SKUs, different bundles, or depending on what our data is, if we need more top of funnel customers, we try to create creatives that align with that, or we're trying to grow the overall bottom line of a business. So I say this to say, easiest step to follow. If I were to launch Facebook ads for a brand new brand that's doing 20, 30K a month of revenue, this is a structure that works 9 times out of 10. Now, I say this to say, if you're struggling, right, your brand, you've been burned by multiple agencies, you want to actually build in-house, you want to be set up one day for an exit, check out my protocol here at scalevelocity.io. Now, when you go through this specific website, right, I have my 1 hour breakdown of like why D2C brands fail, and I cover the high level objectives most people don't talk about. I have our protocol laid out where it's like, if I'm trying to expand and trying to scale as fast as humanly possible, how do I do this, right? And it's just organizing the systems you need, right? You're going to need to create a flywheel system. You're going to need a creative strategist. You're going to need an editor. Whether you outsource, agencies provide this, or whether you choose to build this in-house, it's the same structure regardless. And then also I have my 34-page white paper here that breaks down high-level objectives of why you can't scale. So if you want to skip the bell curve of getting burned by agencies, book in a call, and then you can check out our testimonials, case studies, so on and so forth. So with that being said, guys, I hope you found this valuable, and I'll see you in the next one.